You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm my friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lanes. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin, and tonight, man, blessed and honored to have a special guest, Evan Goodwin, on with us tonight, an offensive tackle in the 2026 class. The first offer that Tyler Bowen gave out for Ohio State, so we're excited about that. Excited to have him. Evan, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm just happy to be here.
Good, man. Yo, chat, hear me out. This is his first podcast that he's done, like on screen and stuff, man. So show him some love in the chat, man. I told him, dude, we're super chill over here. Nothing too crazy. So we're going to have fun tonight, Evan. I promise you that. I'm going to start off with it's going to get a little crazy here for a minute. I got to finish this little artwork. I got a gift from a friend today because I chew tobacco, right? And when I chew tobacco, I spit during the show, and some people don't like that. Some people say my cup sounds annoying, it's disgusting, the whole 9 yards. And then some people were upset because this was my spit cup that I had, right? And it's an Ohio State cup, and they're like, man, that just don't make sense, dude. So I got me a new spit cup today, guys. Yo, shout out Dennis. Mailed me a spit cup, dude. I just added a little bit an X to it, as you can see, and I will be spitting into this for the remainder of the Buckeye Boys' life. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Evan, you know we're Ohio State fans around here. We don't even say that. You know, we don't mess with them, not one little bit. But had to get that out of the way. Yeah. So excited to do that. But Evan, man, just wanted to start off and, ask about your family life, man. You got, did your parents play sports? You got any brothers and sisters that play sports, or what's that like for you?
So both my parents, they played high school sports and then college sports. My mom, awesome, not the best at athletics. She played basketball, tennis, and then she did rodeo in high school, and then she went to Arkansas State for rodeo. So nice. She's a tough one. And then my other mom, Holly, she played basketball and baseball in her high school sports. And then she went on to play basketball at Tulane and then played in Brazil for 4 or 5 years.
Dang. That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, got some athleticism there around you. Any siblings or no?
I have a brother. His name is Hunter.
Gotcha.
I believe he's a truck driver right now. He played football.
Oh, okay. Nice. Let us know, man, what's your height and weight right now, dude? Big old offensive tackle. What you coming in at?
Coming in at 6'7" and a quarter, 324 pounds as of this morning.
Golly, bro, 6'7" and a quarter. Pretty big. So, chat, man, don't forget to hit that like button for me if you could. Get in the chat, man, and start chatting it up with everybody in there. Evan, so as a little kid, man, I grew up on a farm, so I was always outside doing something, bro. Always playing in the mud, riding four-wheelers, hunting, fishing, camping, something like that, dude. What's your hobbies, man? What do you love to do?
I kind of grew up in the same situation as you. Come from small town Arkansas. I got a 350-acre farm in Perrin that my grandparents, uncles, aunties, and cousins live on. So we have a little family compound out there. So I grew up riding four-wheelers, hunting, fishing, playing in the mud, climbing trees. But right now, mainly my hobbies, I like hunting, I like fishing, I like working on cars. That's my dream. Then, mostly just building fence and working cattle.
There you go, man. I love it, dude. got that farm boy strength then, huh? I always try to tell people it's a little different, man. I grew up on a farm, and if you're a farm boy, there's just something a little different about the strength you acquire by doing that type of work.
Oh yeah.
So we know, obviously, big time offensive tackle recruit. But did you play any other sports growing up? Was it always football? Did you get into basketball a little bit? What were some sports you played growing up?
I played basketball for 4 or 5 years. I did wrestling for about 3. I wrestled all the way up until my sophomore year of high school. And then I did track, obviously, shot and disc, your normal off-season sports.
Yeah.
But right now it's mainly football.
Nice. Focus it in now. With your skill and size, and you're starting to get some national attention now as far as being an offensive tackle. That's a good idea. Focus on one thing, man. But I love the wrestling background. I love the background of various sports because it helps you a little bit in the position that you're going forward to now. But so let's talk about football in your life, man. So when did you start playing? Tell us about your first experience playing football.
I started in first grade, actually. I think I was 6 when I played my first snap and tackle football. I played D-line, so I've always been on the line.
Yeah.
My main switch to O-line was really 7th grade is when I finally started playing it, but I played both ways. So.
Okay, gotcha. So when you started playing, what kept you playing? What made you fall in love with it? What did you like about it? And what keeps you going, dude?
My favorite part, honestly, the thing that's kept me most engaged with O-line especially, is the fact that it's not just about skill per se. Yes, it's a big part about it. It's strength, it's speed, it's skill, but it's more a mental game. You're playing a chess match against that DN the entire game, and you have to be constantly thinking about what his next move is going to be. And that's what I really like about it. It's just a mental chess match.
Oh, dude, I like that perspective on that, because you're right, dude. You never know. There's all type of different moves and schemes and that the defensive line can do to you. So mentally, you got to be on par with what's going on around you, being on the especially playing a tackle position. Is that what you're playing right now? Currently, you playing left, right tackle?
Left tackle.
Okay, so more commonly, one of the hardest positions to play in the sport, left tackle. So that's good. So growing up, played a lot of football, man. When did the people around you, or when did you realize, hey, man, I could have a future in this? You know what I mean? When did you set goals for yourself, and how high were those goals?
So the people around me, my parents were always very supportive. I mean, they knew I was going to make it big, but I had a problem with confidence in my younger days. So I didn't really feel like I was going to make it until right around 8th grade, maybe freshman years, when I really I can actually do this. I can play football at the next level. And my first goals were actually to play D2 football. I was gonna go and see if I could get a partial to a D2 school and go play ball there. But after I got my first offer and the ball kind of started rolling, it was when I realized, I might actually be good enough to do this in the next level. So I just took my cards and rolled with it, put 110% into everything so I could finally make it here.
Heck yeah, that's good. I should have started with this a little bit early in the show, but tell us where you're from and what high school you played for. And when you're done with that, tell us how your season went last year.
So I grew up in Benton, Arkansas. It's a small town right below Little Rock. It's Benton High School, or Benton School District until about 8th grade, when I transferred to Pulaski Academy, which was probably the best decision I ever made as an athlete. Went to Pulaski Academy. They're a college prep school for sure. That's when I started how to write papers, doing a lot of homework and stuff. But the coaching staff at PA was the best. I mean, my head coach, Anthony Lucas, over there was an absolute stud, played Razorback ball, played for the Cowboys and the Packers, absolute stud. And then my O-line coach was possibly the best O-line coach for me at the time. But sadly, due to financial reasons, I'm now at Buckeye this year. Couldn't pay the tuition, so I had to move.
Yeah.
But last season was, in my opinion, not my best season. I could have had better, but as a team, we went 10-3. We lost twice to the state champions currently. And then we lost to Conway, which it's just going to happen, especially playing 7A ball as a 4A school. It's just what happens. We do our best every year. Our goal is always state, but stuff happens.
Yeah, it does, man. It sounds like you're pretty self-aware of where you're at as a tackle and where you're at as a person. And, you know, it sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders, man. I'm going to take just a quick second here because Lucia Buck, she wants a bigger X on my scum cup. So let's see here.
I agree.
If I can. Oh, wow. Heck yeah, dude.
Get on it.
They're gonna love that. They're gonna love to hear that. All right, folks, let me know. Does that work? Is that better? Do we want it like thicker? Can you still see too much? Too many color the whole thing black? That's what you guys really want. They just want it gone. No, man, but nice to be aware of where you're at, and obviously. But before we get into recruiting, tell me a little bit about yourself as a player. What are some attributes of yourself that you think are really strong, like as your footwork, your handwork, your strength, your IQ in the game? And then what are some areas that you're really focusing on this offseason to just take yourself to the next level?
At PA and the 2 seasons I started, thank you. But at PA, 2 years I started, I had probably 1,200 drop back pass snaps out of 1,800 snaps overall. So due to my position being there and just having that repetition over and over and over again, I feel like pass blocking is one of my better attributes, but I'm also really good out in space. I take pride in being athletic and fast out and open. So I love screen game. I like pulling, doing all that. Outside zone is one of my favorite plays. But in terms of what I need to get better at, honestly, it's mostly run game. I just haven't done it enough to consider myself competent in doing it. And then my game IQ. I feel like I have I know what I'm doing in the box, and I know what to look for on like outside blitzes and corner blitzes and stunts, but I just like to know more. I mean, I want to know everything that's going on at all times. That's just what kind of person I am.
Yeah. From what I've always experienced with talking to past offensive linemen that had played at the highest level, that's never going to end, right? The second that your hunger for knowledge of the game ends, it's probably time to hang the cleats up, because there's always, and that's just life in general, dude. There's always something to learn in life. No doubt about it. But yeah, dude, I watched a lot of your film. I love your feet work, your athleticism, like you said. Everything you said is on point. To be honest with you, I'm not some professional person that can break down film or anything, but from an amateur level, when I watch a lot of these high school offensive linemen, for the most part, I feel like their weakest part is always pass protection. They always got like the run blocking down. So in my opinion, you have the harder aspect of the game down, but this is coming from an opinion of somebody that's never played the offensive line. My knowledge is very minimal, so I could be way off there, but from my perspective, dude, it's nice you got the pass blocking down. And like I said earlier, that you're aware of where you're at as a player and where you want to go, man, and you're honest with yourself about it. So that's a beautiful thing to hear, dude.
I mean, you just got to be honest with yourself. If you're not, you yourself too bright of a picture, you're never going to grow from that picture. You just got to be honest and know that, hey, there's always something you can improve on. You're never perfect. Perfect is a goal that you'll never reach. But if you strive for perfect, you'll always be excellent.
Hey, if you strive for, you heard it first here from Evan on the Buckeye Boys. If you strive for perfect, you'll always be excellent. I love it, dude. So what do we want to dive into now? All right, time to dive into the stuff that people are probably most interested in, and that's your recruitment, man. So do you remember? I know you do. Can you tell us about your first offer, and then when did things start really heating up? Because you recently got an offer from the national champs, the most winningest football team the last 25 years, the Ohio State Buckeyes. You can't get a higher offer than that. So you've been getting some big time offers. When was your first offer? Who was it? And then how did this timeline roll out for you?
My first offer was Colorado with Coach Bill Best. He is an awesome guy. So got that offer probably, I think it was right after Christmas of my freshman year. Right after season, right after Christmas, freshman year, got that. And it's really been heating up since.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, it was Oklahoma State, and then it just went crazy from there. And I've honestly been having a hard time keeping track of it.
Yeah, I bet you it gets wild. That's kind of my next question, man, is how is it, you know, as a younger guy, how is it handling, you know, do you feel pressure? Is it a lot to take in when you got all these coaches calling you and all this information to gather and all these decisions to make, man? What's it like? Walk us through that.
While it is pressure, I feel like it's a good pressure, because from the way I've looked at things, pressure is a privilege. I mean, if you aren't somebody or something, you're not going to have that pressure of what's next? What am I going to do? What do I need to do? If you don't have expectations, there will be no pressure for yourself. So I take it in stride and just do my best at what I can.
Yeah. Well, like I said before the show, man, Ohio State fans are psychos. And if you go play for the Buckeyes, we'll put a lot of pressure on you. I promise you that. So you'll get pretty darn good, dude. So yeah, dude. But no, I loved you saying that, man. I've heard Coach Ryan Day say that all the time. Pressure is a privilege, dude. You know, there's a lot of colleges around the country you go to. Pretty much any D1 college, you're going to have some type of pressure. But obviously, in today's day and age, there's certain teams that have a little bit more pressure than other teams, but a lot of good teams out there, man. But that pressure can definitely, it's either going to break you, dude, or it's going to make you stronger. So recruitment's pretty up and running now, getting a lot of big time offers. Are any of them sticking out right now? Right now, we know that can change and got a lot of information to process through, but you got any schools that are maybe, I'm not asking you for a top 5 or top 10 or top 2 or anything, but maybe just a couple that are doing pretty good right now?
As far as like knowledge of where I want to go, I'm still looking into that. The whole thing I want to do is I want to take my OVs. I want to get that out of the way. And then I have a little spreadsheet where I have each college in the spreadsheet and I have pros and cons of all the colleges. And then, of course, where I feel like I fit best. It's just the way I keep track of it. And then the schools that are talking to me the most currently is going to be Mississippi State, Mizzou, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Wisconsin. I mean, those are really the 5 schools that are talking to me the most off the top of my head.
Yeah. Thanks. You got some big dogs talking to you. That's only going to keep going up. So before we start the show, man, you let us know that or we as Ohio State fans, we know that we recently hired a new offensive line coach, Tyler Bowen, the offensive coordinator for Virginia Tech. Used to play or be the offensive line coach at another school. But what was that like, man? He said he gave you a call and you were the first person that he offered here at Ohio State. So how's that feel for you? And what was that experience like?
To be the first person Coach Bowen calls up after he's been at the job for 6 days. I mean, that's an honor. It is an honor to be the first person he reaches out to. And it's just really cool. But
yeah,
turns out what the conversation was like. He just wanted to get to know me first. The offer didn't come until later in the call, but at the first part, we were just talking about what I do, what do I like to do, pretty much like the start of this podcast. And it turns out me and him are very similar. Me and Coach Bowen are similar, grew up in very similar backgrounds. So it was really nice to hear that. The call was very comfortable, if that makes sense. Very easygoing.
Yeah. Yeah. When we first heard he was getting hired, when I did a lot of research, and there's a lot of past players that were interviewed and asked about him as a coach, and that's what all of them said. They said, man, he's just really easy to talk to, really easy to get along with, and he sounds like he genuinely cares. And I think with NIL and the way that college football is changing, that's getting a little harder and harder. You know what I mean? To find those people that really care and want to bring you in and grow you to the best player, and not only the best player, but the best man that you can be as a person. So when you're going through this, you said I made a spreadsheet, man. Can you give us a little insight on some things that are at the top of your list, top of your spreadsheet, on things that you're looking for in a school in particular? Obviously, you got relationships and winning and all that stuff. What are some things that are really important for you to see in a school?
Number one, going to sound a little cliche for an offensive lineman, but academics are huge to me. I mean, football ends one day. I mean, as much as we don't want it to end, all players have their careers cut short by an injury, or just end up like Whitworth and play until you're 45 and then retire. But I know football is going to end. And after it ends, I want to be able to do something. So I want to have a degree that counts. I want to have a degree that will take me places further than football has.
Now, that's a good line of thinking, dude. Have you put any thought into like maybe what kind of degree you want, or what you're looking to do after football?
I have. I put a lot of thought into this. So the way I want things to roll out, I'm going to go 4 years, get my bachelor's in finance. So I know how to work with money, how to manage it, how to do all of that on my own. And then after, hopefully, I go to the league, I want to come back and get a master's in mechanical engineering and possibly specialize in automotive, so I can work on and build cars with the family business and just do what I love to do.
Oh, that sounds fire, dude. Also, you got a family business that already works with cars, mechanic shop or sell cars, or what do you guys do?
So the way it works, my mom, Kristen Felder, wonderful lady. She has this business called Collision Hub. She does media marketing for companies like PPG, SADA, 3M, all your bigger name brands in the automotive industry. She just shoots little promotion videos, ads, advertisements. But she also does adjuster training and like trains people on how to fix cars.
Nice.
And what's the right way to DRPs and all that.
Yeah. Dude, that sounds like a heck of a plan you got going, dude. I always wished I would have figured out how to manage money way better when I was earlier, but I was just flying by the seat of my pants, dude, just spending money left and right. But yeah, no, that's a good decision, man. It's awesome to see that being as young as you are with everything going on, that you're putting your time in to think about those things, and even thinking about life after football right now. You're probably in the low percentage of kids your age that are thinking about that. So that's definitely good, because that is the truth, man. No matter how good you are, bro. I mean, Michael Jordan had to retire. You know what I'm saying? Like, best to ever do it, dude. People are trying to debate that. Let me ask you, dude. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan. The stats speak for themselves.
Thanks, bro. I mean, it's clear cut dry, is it not?
It should be.
Yeah, I guess for some people it's not, dude. Hey, so to dive more into Ohio State, have you been there yet? Have you camped there? Have you visited there? Anything like that?
Sadly, no. I've never been to Ohio. I want to, and I am going for a spring practice over spring break. My spring break. But hopefully, once I get to the practice, get to meet all the coaches, get to talk to Coach Bowen face to face, because that's a huge thing. Just feel him out, feel what kind of person he is, how he runs his practices, because you have more practices and games. I mean, you only play 13 games in 1 year usually.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you paid attention on, but Ryan Day just hired 2 more offensive line coach assistants. I'm sure that you're probably aware of that. Yeah, they pretty big names, man. Used to coach at pretty big schools. So clearly Ohio State is really putting and investing some time and money and effort into a particular position group. And us fans, we love it, man. We're all about the trenches, dude. The trenches is where the game starts, dude. If you don't have an offensive line, a defensive line, you ain't winning no natty. But On that note, I wanted to ask, man, did you watch the playoffs this year? Did you watch the Buckeyes and all the other teams that played?
I did. The only time I really watched the Buckeyes, sadly, was in the Natty. I was watching Notre Dame's Cinderella run. It was good until they made a brick wall.
Yeah, they did. No, Notre Dame. I mean, I picked them to beat Georgia and all that stuff. So, I didn't mind seeing them there. I didn't mind playing Notre Dame at all. I went to all of them. It was an awesome run. What Justin Fry did with the offensive line and all that stuff was kind of wild, dude. But I think I forgot to ask a question earlier, dude. When you growing up, who was your college team, dude? Who did you root for?
I didn't have one.
Okay.
I just like watching sports. I mean,
yeah.
I knew I was going to be O-line, so I just put on whatever game was on and watch it.
Yeah.
My mom was a Tulane fan, and my other mom was a huge Vols fan. So those were the games that were always on.
Yeah.
But I really didn't have a team as a kid.
Gotcha. What about players, man? Did you look up to any once you figured out, hey, I'm an offensive tackle? Did you look up to any players in NFL or in college or anything?
I haven't been real quiet about it, but Paris Johnson, former Ohio State player, I watched his combine and all of his plays, all of his drills, and I tried to model my game after his. That's why I work so hard on just footwork and foot speed. He is an incredible player, and I actually got the chance to receive a little DM from him on Instagram. Got to have a little conversation with him, and it was an absolute honor. It was so cool.
Yeah, that's fire, man. Dude, you could help me with a little bit of insight here because I told you earlier, me and my buddy that do this show, Mello, he's in the chat right now, actually. Let's see if I can pull up what he said. Right here. Yeah, that's what it was. That's Mello. That's my other co-host on here, but he said you need to check out the Rose Bowl. Yeah, we went to the Rose Bowl and watched Ohio State and Oregon this year, dude. It was absolutely phenomenal, dude. So, what was I about to ask, dude? Oh, shoot, man. This is where I need my co-host. Chat, where was I? What was I just talking about? I had a brain fart, dude. This isn't good. It doesn't look professional. What were Paris Johnson? Okay, now I remember. So you hear a lot of these recruits, depending on our position group, they'll say who they look up to, right? And as I'll just use this example. For instance, you just told us that you look up to Paris Johnson. Well, Paris Johnson graduated from Ohio State. So that gives us fans hope because you like a player that graduated from Ohio State. How much does that actually impact a decision, or does it just not at all?
I'm going to be honest. It might be different for other people, but
yeah,
me looking up to a player or a person really doesn't affect my decision at all.
Yeah.
And as much as that probably hurts y'all to say, it's just not my thought process about where I'm going to school at.
No, that doesn't hurt, man. I mean, that's what I figured. I guess that a lot of other reporters and stuff, they want to put a lot of weight on that, saying, oh, this dude's favorite player was this guy. He graduated from Miami, so really watch out for Miami here. And I'm like, yeah, it was 20 years ago. Like, things are different now. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, you got to make the right decision that's best for yourself. You know, you got to have your normal, things. You want to go to a school that's going to develop you. You want to go to school that's going to give you a good degree in academics. Side note, Ohio State got some pretty prestigious awards for their academics that they had on their football team this year. So just I'm not trying to talk you in anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just letting you know.
Can I put one more person in? Can I add one more person that I look up to?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure if you followed O-line at all, you'd be familiar with Duke Manyweather. He is Duke Manyweather. He is doing draft prep of so many different college O-linemen. It's not even funny. But in 8th grade, I was about to quit football. Just went to a bad camp. The coaches at the camp told me to quit playing O-line, told me to quit. And I went to Duke Manyweather's Final 5 camp. And in that camp, he totally saved my football career. And that's the long and short of it. He said that you are going to be great one day. You just need to keep working. And his words have stuck with me ever since. And I try to not promote him because he does it himself pretty well. But everywhere I go, I speak highly of him just because he's an awesome guy. He's he probably knows the most of O-line of anybody I've ever met. He is incredible.
Yeah, that's really cool, dude. I've talked to a lot of different recruits, and they always end up bringing up a similar story, like somebody that's came into their life at a certain time when they were second guessing football or having a rough time, dude. So that's awesome that you found somebody like that that can maybe get you back on track, get your thoughts focused in the right places, dude. I'm sure it's not the last time because life, dude, brings so many things at you. You know, got to surround yourself with the right people. So a couple more questions for you, man. How much does this might sound like a stupid question, but how much does, let me put it like this, Ohio State winning the national title last year, or how much does a team's overall winning percentage affect your decision? Is it something that weighs a lot on it, or is your mindset, hey, man, I'm not playing there, right? So I'm not too concerned with how good or bad they're doing. I'll be concerned with that when I get there. Where's that at in your mind?
So having a winning record, yes, is important, but it's not the most important thing you could put into a decision for college. Like, if winning record was the end all be all final factor, you would go somewhere and while you'd be winning, you'd be unhappy for 4 years of your life, maybe 5, depending on how good you do or how hard you put into training. So while it is considered in my final decision, it's really not a big one.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense, dude. You don't want to go, you be winning somewhere, but and you hate your coach. It's not going to be the best place for you to be at all. Yeah. All right, man, wrapping up here, dude. College football recruiting is absolutely insane. I'm not asking you this question for details. I don't want any details about your recruitment in regards to these questions, just kind of an overall mindset. With the way that the transfer portal is and the way that NIL is operating, I love NIL. I love that college athletes can get paid now. They've deserved it for quite some time. It's a huge blessing. What are your thoughts, man, of number one, the transfer portal, and number two, how NIL is being operated inside college football right now?
Well, I love NIL. Yes, the players should be paid. I mean, if you look at NFL guys, they're getting paid $30 million to play football. That's awesome. Good for them. But the college athletes, in a lot of senses, have it harder than the NFL guys. And if you're looking at it from my perspective, while the NFL is playing better competition, these college athletes have 2 full-time jobs. They have full class loads every semester, and then they have to deal with 4 or 5 hours of practice every day. Their job is incredibly hard. And while I look forward to it, I agree they should be paid. Not as much as I'm seeing some people get paid.
Yeah.
A couple $6 million contracts is ridiculous to me. But I agree that they should be getting paid. The transfer portal, I hate it. Hands down, I hate the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Because these guys transferring out for money or just getting higher contracts just makes me mad. Like, if you want to transfer, by all means, transfer, but you should have a better reason than, oh, they're paying me more.
Yeah.
Because when you get to hopefully the NFL one day, you're going to be legally bound to a contract where you have to be at that place for the next however many years. And it doesn't matter if you get a salary increase or your salary drops or whatever. You have to be there. And I think that this transfer portal is just making that incredibly hard for rookies in the NFL when stuff doesn't go their way and they want to leave, they can't. So I feel like the transfer portal rule should be changed a little bit, and hopefully they will, because of some of the stuff I'm hearing. Well, contracts will be binding to the school now. I just feel like the transfer portal is overused. And that's just my personal opinion on it.
You said it perfectly, dude. I couldn't agree more. You know, there are certain situations where a player should be able to transfer, but I love what you said, man. You know, that's not reality. It's like some of these college players, they get this moment of time in life when they get to live in a fantasy world of, oh, I don't like something, so let me just do away with what I promised or my commitment to begin with. Like, what happened to the days of committing to a school and committing there for 3 or 4 years? You know what I'm saying? So the commitment stuff has gone away, and then when you're leaving for more money, it rubs me the wrong way as well. But you know, they're figuring it out, they're working it out. So there'll be some type of guardrails in place for both the transfer portal and for NIL eventually. But it's still college football, man. The best sport to watch ever, dude. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I love it, dude. It's been an honor and a thrill to have you on here. Appreciate you so much, man. You got any final words or statements? Anything you want Buckeye Nation to know? Anything you want college football Nation to know about yourself? You excited to take it to the next level? I forgot to ask you in your little closing statement, you got to tell us your bench max, your bench press, your max, and then your squat. What are you maxing out in there too? Just out of curiosity.
Oh Lord.
You don't have to, bro. You got to answer none of that.
No, I'll say, my bench press is sitting right around 330, and then squat is usually around 455, maybe 500. I haven't fully max squat in a while. I've been focusing more on explosiveness. So I've been really focusing on my power and my hang clean, just trying to get my explosive numbers up because those are huge for playing O-line. Just your engagement, your glutes, your legs, major. So my power clean max is sitting right around 290, almost 300. And then my hang clean is right around 260-ish. So those are the numbers I'm actually proud of.
Man, that's very smart. That's some good stuff. There's some pretty high numbers. I'm not going to be hang cleaning or power cleaning anywhere near that anytime soon. My knees will just buckle and break. Just clean in half, dude. Clean in half. But yeah, man. Anything else? Or is that about it? That'll about do it?
Only thing I have to say is I'm excited to get to the next level, wherever that may be. I can't wait to get there and grind out and hopefully make it to the league.
Yeah, man, for sure. We're excited to follow your career. I'll be following you very closely, what you got going on, following your recruitment and stuff. Hopefully we can get you back on here in 6 months or so, do a little checkup, see how you're doing. I love doing that, seeing where people are at, seeing the growth they made and where they're at on decisions, different things like that. It's been an honor, man. Glad that, you came on here. We can be your first podcast interview. So hopefully you don't forget us, and look forward to seeing what you got to do in the future, man.
Thank you. I'll definitely look forward to being back on this podcast. This was a great.
Yeah, brother. All right, man. Go Buckeyes. OH.
Go Buckeyes.
I tried to get you to say IO. You're not going to do it, huh?
I can't.
That's all right, bro. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you, Evan. You have a good one.
You too, sir.
Yeah, see it. Well, there we have it. Buckeye Nation, that was Evan, man. Big time offensive tackle recruit. Like he said, Tyler Bowen reached out to him. Was the very first offer, so pretty excited to see where that leads. Tyler Bowen has been making a lot of different offers right now. I'm going to be doing an updated video on that with all the new offers coming out for offensive line. And then there's another 2025 recruit that's really popping off the charts right now on the D-line, Maxwell Roy. I'm about to do a pre-recorded video on him because got a little new information on him today, and he has really stepped it up. So appreciate everybody that was in the chat, man, following along to the video. Evan, obviously an amazing person. We'll be praying for him and watching his career and seeing what he does with his decision, man. It's going to be exciting to see what he's got. But on that note, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.